We are back, and as promised, Rhum Academy Music is in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Thanks for having me back.
Let's talk about Friday first, because Saturday's a big deal too, but Friday.
Yes.
The Verve Pipe.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you know any of their stuff, you know, the Freshman, I mean, this man is an incredible entertainer. It's going to be a great time. And, you know, again, the city of Kokomo, Weber Speakers, Action Productions. And Rhum Academy, we are just really, really pleased to have this gentleman in there. And we got more stuff coming up as time goes on. But
And if you don't know who we're talking about, it is Brian Vander Ark. He's going to be in concert right here at Rhum Academy.
Absolutely.
This Friday night.
Absolutely. And the furthest place you're away from him is 65 feet.
Wow.
So that's pretty good. You can actually see the sweat roll off.
Now, will he play some of the music that people have come to know and appreciate?
Absolutely, because he wrote the majority of that music, you know, I mean, or co-wrote it. So I mean, he has all the rights to it, so he can just do whatever he wants to with it.
Now, is he traveling all over the place, or is this just a destination spot, or how did you seek him out to?
Well, you know, Brett Daniels, and Brett Daniels is just he's pretty doggone phenomenal at pulling in acts, and some of them I'm that he's starting to get now, and we're looking at a different genre of musicians too, other than just the park, and it's really great that he's working diligently to get that, and between his input and TA's input, TA knows everybody too, so from Weber Speakers, so it's just great.
Yeah. He really is, and if you guys don't know about the music in the park, they've done a phenomenal job of bringing those acts in, and this is no different because honestly, you don't have to worry about weather. You don't have to worry about getting a seat because seats are all good.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And we have a minimum of 200 seats in there right now, so we can actually get more in there if we need to.
And we were talking about it's $15 in advance. How do they call to get tickets in advance?
Well, they can call Rhum Academy at 765-236-0567, and you can get it there. And I would say that'd probably be the easiest place to get that, either that or Weber Speakers, and I don't know their phone number offhand.
But if you forget, like that would be me, you can still get them at the door, and it's only $20.
Yes.
And it's still great entertainment.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great night, great entertainment. You know, Half Moon Brewery is going to be there again too, so that's great for the people who like to have a beer and a glass of wine. And yet it's still an all-ages show. We're very conscious of that.
What time do your doors open?
The doors will open that night at 7:30. And
the show starts at?
Show starts, I think, at 9 o'clock.
Wow.
Okay, and I could be wrong. So,
but there's still entertaining. Get there early because you definitely need to go see what your academy is all about. There's plenty to see there just perusing the hallways.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm just going to open the doors at 7 o'clock, and I'm going to be safe, okay? And we'll have other musicians there, too, at the beginning of that, too. So we'll have some entertainment going on throughout the night.
Can I put you on the spot and ask what your favorite song is from him?
I'd have to say The Freshman, you know, because, I mean, you hear that song, and it's like that's stuck in your head.
It is one of those songs.
You know, it's one of those songs, you know, and I, so that would have to be it.
All right. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about Saturday because we just can't get enough of you.
Well, good.
We'll be right back. We are back, and we are talking about the city of Kokomo itself, kind of off camera a little bit. It's one thing that I'm excited about, and I think that you share in that as well. There's so much to do here. There's so much culture being kind of infused in with new business, new art, new music, new everything.
Absolutely.
And it's all right here.
Absolutely.
If you just take a little bit of effort, and not even much, just a little bit of effort, you're going to find so much to do and see and be a part of.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? And you could drive miles and miles and spend a few $100s and not get the same quality that you're going to get here, because I mean, I think that this is one of the greatest places. And you know, I used to play a lot. I used to travel around this country a lot. And I was asked several times, you know, why do you stay in Kokomo? Why don't you move here? I like Kokomo. Kokomo's a good place to live. It's a great place to raise a family. And now with the fact that we're able to focus so much more on the arts, there are so many talented people in Kokomo, you know. It's just amazing to me to see it and to see it grow and to see it really start to blossom now. I feel like we are almost in the Renaissance period, you know, for the artist here, and it's like someday when we all make that connection and we'll have those great artistic parties, you know, and having fun, which I think we're on the verge of doing anyhow.
Absolutely.
It's just going to be great because that's what it's all about, you know, with the Art Association, everybody that's involved in this, people are really striving to make things better here. And I think the biggest thing is that they're already great. What we need to do as a community is we need to realize that and start to really support those things that each one of us do. Because, you know, it's like my dad told me when I was a kid. I walked by him. He was reading the Bible. We didn't have electricity. We didn't have TV. We didn't have nothing. I walked by him and I said, I'm bored. Well, my dad didn't say anything. I went by him again. I'm bored. Third time I went by him, he tapped me on the shoulder and turned me around. I looked at him, he says, you're boring. And he went back to what he was doing. You know, and I think sometimes, we as a society and we as a people, we have to make that effort
to make it a little more exciting.
Yeah, to do something. Because, I mean, it's like when you have a group of people get together, you got to party. You know, but the people got to get up and go do it. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. And that's something that we see at Rhum Academy. People are really starting to enjoy it. So I'm so excited about that. And I'm so excited for all the other things, too.
That's a nice segue into Saturday, because you're going to showcase even more talent that is direct from here.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, In the Round, it's another series of the In the Round, which I'm just so happy about it and so pleased about the fact that you guys are giving us another avenue for my students and colleagues to be able to perform and for people to see that throughout the country. So that I think is great. I actually got somebody from Germany who said that they watched the show. So sometime
we're international.
Talk about that. Oh, I know. We're more than nationwide.
That's
now,
right.
Yeah, this coming In the Round is great, and that's a free show, simply because I want people to really come in and understand what's going on there. You know, I just think that it's great. We want you to come in, just have fun.
But let's talk about some of that showcase, the age. I mean, some of these students that you have, or some of your colleagues that you mentioned, they're so young.
I know.
To me, they seem young. So I can't imagine looking at some of these 13, 14-year-olds. And
how young they are to me.
They're producing these sounds. The acoustic sound that came from one of the last shows was as good as I've seen, I think, honestly.
Well, thank you.
She was incredible.
Oh, well, it's just, to me, art is not defined by age. Art is not defined by somebody else's opinion. You know, the artists themselves, we truly, truly encourage creativity, originality. That's probably the most important thing that we can do as far as being instructors and people, you know, mentors. You know, we give them the tools to do that. It's okay to emulate so many other things.
Sure.
But bottom line is, if I can hear what's in somebody's heart, that's what makes all the difference to me.
Sure.
You know, because then I really know that person. I get to know that person, or an insight that they have. So, and seeing, you know, like Cassie King, you know, she's was such a delightful girl. And she just turned 14 in February. Okay.
But if they missed that clip, look it up online, because I had to watch it a couple times because I almost couldn't believe she seems so humble.
And she is.
And she's talking about how the music is going through her, and she just sat down and wrote that song, and then all of a sudden she starts singing, and I'm like, how old is she?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, and that's the delightful thing about it, is because we do not put them in a competition. First of all, they are not there to compete. Okay? I absolutely refrain from having anybody do that, because art is not a competition.
And it's so funny that you say that, because that was one of the questions that I had for you later. What do you think about the American Idols and the voices compared to what you do? Well, I'm so glad you brought that up.
I mean, I see that's a great way. Every time that's a great way for some people to be recognized. So don't get me wrong, I don't want to but then again, how much of the money, they make so much money. And the thing that I see is this, is that, you know, a few of those people are going to do well. They'll do well. But the road to get there, sometimes that's the thing that bothers me sometimes. It really bothers me, because I see that if you have sometimes a battle of the bands or something like that, I feel like the people who promote that, they make a lot of money
off of
the artist. And the artist, well, you get the privilege to do this, or exposure. Exposure is it's a bad word to me, okay?
Okay.
I've had so much exposure in my life, and it never got me any groceries. It never paid my house payment. Sure. And I don't want to sound like I'm crying about it, because I love my job, and I love my career. And
it shows.
And I don't mind doing things to help out certain organizations at all. I mean, certain organizations really deserve that.
Sure.
But I don't like the fact when I see people be abused for their talent, and then other people really reap a tremendous reward off of that, okay? So American Idol and The Voice, hey, more power to them. They're doing a great job, okay? Because they provide some great entertainment for people that helps them to realize that, you know, people aren't born superstars, okay? That overnight success doesn't happen in the majority of times. You know, most bands have been together 5, 10, sometimes 15 years before all of a sudden, wow,
something happens to get that big break.
Wow, what about this new band here? Well, they're not a new band, you know what I mean? Or,
They've
well,
been
it's
around.
not a new singer. So I think that's the biggest thing to me. And to me, I want to see people have an opportunity to show off their talents, and even those 14-year-olds that normally wouldn't even get exposure. You know, or the 16-year-old who is too young for this particular program or that. You know, they aren't too young. You know, if we can get them early, what are they going to give us as life goes on?
But I don't mean to harp on or kind of get stuck on Cassie, but you know, when some of these pop stars join the music scene, you don't actually feel, for me, this is just for me, you don't feel the heartache in their songs. You don't feel connected to that singer. And with her, for some reason, you could just feel the emotion behind her talent. You just somehow, I guess, connected with her a little bit, and you could actually feel her passion in that song. Is that fair to say?
Oh, I think that's more than fair to say. I think that's a great observation, because, I mean, you know, I've played music with her several times. Last year we played several shows together, and I love playing music with her. The only thing I don't like about her getting so good on guitar is she's going to not need me, you know, because she is just so good. And that's kind of, you know, that's the whole point of what I do. But, you know, I seen her invoke tears in women, grown people walking by would just stop and listen to her, and just all of a sudden tears would stream down their face. She's got a very magic quality about her, you know, and so do so many of my students. Right. You know, but you know, you said Cassie, so I mean, she is she's special. She is so special.
The reason that I again just saw her clip over the weekend, just because that song is just incredible. Yeah. But it's true for a lot of the artists that I've watched on your program and actually got to see come out of there. They have that quality that you don't find, or that I don't find. Yeah. Again, I'm throwing myself under the bus, that I don't find in a lot of the pop stars, because if you flip on the radio, you don't know exactly who that is, because sometimes they're all cookie cutter. They all sound alike. And what's really nice is from your program, and that's coming out of there, is they don't have their own magic. They have their own style. Well,
that's, you know, and you know what, I've got to say, for my teachers and for my academy, that's one thing that we really, really want. We want to see people, you know, and we'll ask them, what are you feeling in there? You know, tell me what you feel. That's the most important thing. Because a lot of times, like Mitchell White, who was on the very first program, Mitchell is just a phenomenal young man. And, you know, can play anything, play jazz guitar, play jazz band, everything else. Just an amazing musician, you know, and I watched him grow. And the first time he ever tried to sing, he just would squeak, you know. And then all of a sudden he starts growing, but he's not writing. He's like, I just really have trouble with lyrics, you know. And finally it was like he loved John Mayer. And so I said, and so do I. John Mayer's an incredible writer, you know.
Gravity may be one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah, I mean, that whole album, you know, I remember driving to Cincinnati and listening to that whole album, and it was like just a great stereo system. It was like, man.
And I will apologize to my wife now, because Continuum played constantly in the car, and she'd be like, can we please find something else to listen to?
Oh, well, my son Levi, he always talks about Mayor John.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So he loves that. But Okay, now I really got sidetracked there.
We have.
So, anyhow, looking at emotion, right? Trying to evoke emotion out of people. That's what we want. Because, so I'm talking to him, and it's like, what is it that you want to do? You're not going to change the world. Sometimes musicians, we have this, or artists, we have this delusion that we're going to change everything. We're going to end world hunger. Okay?
Sure.
We're going to make the world a more beautiful place. Well, we are going to make it a more beautiful place, but it's
Absolutely.
not going to change the whole world.
You never know.
You
can hold out hope.
I know, but here's the thing. The thing is this, is that you can hold out hope, but sometimes when you hold out hope, it keeps you from being creative.
Okay.
You know, and I mean, you got to take every spot that you have and just tell me a story. I just want a story. Tell me about the first time that you had to take your dog and get a shot for it. You know what I mean? Or something. You know, but make it, you can make it mystical, you can make it whatever you want to. But the whole idea is you've got to give me something.
Sure.
You know, and it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to do anything. I mean, look at Eddie Vedder. Eddie Vedder, was it Jeremy? All right. I mean, he openly says he doesn't say anything in there. I mean, he's just uttering out syllables. Okay. Well, he's very good at doing that.
Absolutely.
You know. So to me, it's like okay.
A lot of people listen to those syllables.
Absolutely. And there was people who would debate on what he was saying. They knew what he was saying.
Oh, sure.
You know, and that's the whole idea of artistry, and that's the whole idea of being creative, is do something to invoke emotion from people, to invoke thought, to do something. But it doesn't have to change the world. You know, I think Michael Jackson said it best, you know, starting with the man in the mirror. That's the one place that we have to start to make differences. And as musicians, you have to start with that glance in the mirror and say, okay, wow, I'm not going to change the world today, but I'm going to write this song today.
And make it better in your own special way.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, the details about Saturday.
Yeah.
Doors open when?
The doors will open at 6 o'clock on Saturday, and it's just going to be a great night.
And it's absolutely free, right?
Absolutely free. And I mean, you know, by the way, we have Naked Juice now. Okay, so we're really excited about that, and we're able to offer that, as well as we have Fountain Cokes. We, you know,
and great atmosphere.
Yes.
Great artists.
Yes.
Are they going to be surprised to see something a little bit different this Saturday?
Yes, they will. This Saturday's going to be a little bit different, and you know what? I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay. But it's going to be a really great show, I promise.
And location?
Location 500 West Superior Street, right across from Foster Park.
You can't miss it.
No, you can't miss it. You can't miss it. And
all the great music and the electricity will bring you. It's like this little hub.
Absolutely,
It
absolutely.
will bring you forward. Honestly, there's so much going on. There's so much talent. And again, I don't want to put a blanket over it or anything like that, because it goes more than just music. It goes more than just art. It goes more than just poetry.
Absolutely.
It's an incubator, I will say.
Absolutely. It's the Renaissance.
It is the Renaissance. Thank you so much for being here again today.
Oh, my pleasure.
It's amazing the things that are coming out of there. I'm so excited, and I love to have people in the hot seat sharing the passion, bringing Kokomo to a whole nother level. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to have to sign off with you in the hot seat. I truly appreciate you coming in and everything that you do. And I appreciate you guys watching at home, because we're going to bring you even more exciting guests. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you tomorrow.